Yo, what's going on? Twitch, also YouTube as well, because this is getting uploaded to YouTube later on. But very excited. I have been patiently biding my time trying to do my EPs and albums of the year, which is always very difficult. I never know how I feel about doing these every year, but this one's gonna be a little bit different. I actually, for EPs, I included my thoughts on mini albums, which, if you're familiar with the K-pop realm of things, mini albums are. I would consider them to be kind of in the same category as EPs. So I threw a couple mini albums that I feel like are representative of EPs. So I kind of threw some of those in there that may have given away a little bit of a secret on who's amongst my favorites of this year. But I'm doing my EPs of the year first, and then I will be pausing for like a few seconds, and then I will be starting my albums of the year, starting off with my 5 honorable mentions and albums of the year, which I've done every year. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, then that's the best way to find out. But this is going to be a mix of everything new. All of it's new for this year in 2023, but I kind of wanted to go through my list live on Twitch because it's a little bit easier. YouTube is, a little funky with this sort of stuff. So everybody that wanted to watch it live, now you're here. Thank you for watching live. If you're not watching live, thank you for watching on YouTube later after the fact. But I'm not going to spare you any expense. I'm going to get into the first one. As you can tell, I have my full screen, which I don't normally do. So this is a special moment here. But I'm going to switch over to my setup here. So here we go. The first one I have on my list is Brand of Sacrifice, their EP, Between Death and Dreams. I like this EP a lot. I unfortunately never got around to listening to it more than a handful of times. So we're going to be going through my personal favorite song off the EP. And so what I've kind of done for the list this year is just put my favorite songs off the EP or album. So I have made a playlist for both. Once these videos go live, then I will also have the YouTube playlist if you guys want to watch them and after the fact. But this first song is called Exodus. This was one of the first songs I think I did a reaction video for, and this one just stuck with me. So I'm gonna be playing this one. I think the volume is good. If you think it's too loud, let me know in the chat, because I am watching the chat here. But yeah, we'll get into the first one, Exodus, and let's get into it.
You will not survive.
Also, this is going to be a crazy list. I just want to let you know. I'm so stoked. Oh, song fucking rips. That double bass work is so fucking insane to me. I love it. That halftime, super sick. I know this is probably going to come to a surprise for most people who have watched my K-pop stuff on here. One of the filthiest breakdowns of this year. Oh, the song's so good. I haven't heard it in so long either. All right, guys. So the next one, as you can tell, on my list is number 14. God Made Me an Animal. I really enjoyed this record a lot. I did have a good amount of time to kind of sit on some of these records, so I feel like to me it's always hard every year to kind of compile my list of favorites, but I had to include this on the list because I first of all really enjoyed the EP. I think it's one that I revisit pretty frequently, but it wasn't enough in terms of the other ones that I have on my list here that I've revisited more often. But I really enjoyed listening to this a lot. I enjoyed listening to it live on YouTube. Big shout outs to Sharp Tone. They've always sent me some really fantastic bands. I think Better Lovers is a great example of this, because I don't think I would have actively seeked out this band other than at the recommendation of my two co-hosts of my other podcast that I do. They had said that we all collectively agreed we wanted to do it live. So shout outs to Jared, shout outs to Daryl. But yeah, this was one of my favorites off the EP, Sacrificial Participant. And yeah, I feel like this list is going to be very interesting. I'm curious what other people would think about my list, as I do every year. But yeah, I feel like I had to include Better Lovers on here just because I enjoyed their music a ton, and Greg's kind of wild. So we love to see it. So this is Sacrificial Participant. So let's give it a listen.
Always so concerned with someone else. Trapped and isolated. Trapped and isolated. Trapped and isolated.
That like low tune riff. Oh, I love it. I like the bass and guitar matches up. Super tight. Trapped and isolated by yourself. Always so concerned with someone else. Trapped and isolated by yourself. Always so concerned with someone else. So concerned with someone else. You should be more worried for yourself. All right, there we go. That was Better Lovers, Sacrificial Participant. I, again, really enjoyed this EP a ton. I feel like this song specifically gave me a lot of love for Greg. You know, I didn't really give him as much love as I knew him from. I actually didn't know a lot about Greg besides that he was in Dillinger Escape Plan. But again, Daryl gave us, at least gave me all of the information I needed about Greg, and I think this song is arguably the best representation of Greg's vocal styling on the EP. So I had a great time with this EP doing it live, and I felt like this one made the most impact to me, so super stoked to add this onto the lineup. So yeah, shout outs to Better Lovers. The next one on my list is number 13, and this one is a local, well, I guess unsigned, not technically local to me, but unsigned band called Current Comfort. Again, shout outs to Daryl. We did a EP live review of their EP, Swear I'm Fine, and I loved it. I went through it multiple times after we did the live, and it kind of rose the ranks of some of my favorite EPs this year. And I just had to include it on the list. I really enjoyed it a ton. And the song I included on here was Washed Out. That was my personal favorite off the EP. But I felt like I had to include them on the list. And also really cool that because they're an unsigned group. So if you live in Texas, go out and see them. It would be amazing. I know Texas is a big state. I believe they are like San Antonio, a San Antonio band. If I'm wrong, Current Comfort, let me know. Let me know in the YouTube comments. But yeah, Current Comfort, their song Washed Out. Let's give it a listen. The melodies on this are so good. I love it. All right, guys. That was Current Comfort, Washed Out. Big salutes to the Texas homies. Again, this song is like the quintessential like post-hardcore song. So I love that. It's got a little bit of pop punk. I think if you're a fan of like Silverstein or any of that kind of era of like emo post-hardcore, I feel you're going to vibe with this song a ton. The EP is kind of a good mix. There are some heavy songs on the EP. It's only 5 songs, but it's a good mix. And I kind of wish it was the only regret that I had was my Spotify was acting up real bad, and so I got it fixed midstream. But it was I was feeling a little rough about that one, but hopefully it's still a little bit more of a justice. But yeah, this band is really really sick. Excited to see what they're gonna be doing in 2024, which is crazy to say right now, even though I know we're like in the final week of December, but big salutes to them. So yeah, Current Comfort, Washed Out, my favorite song off of Swear I'm Fine. So definitely big salutes to the boys. But the next one I think is going to surprise a lot of people. The next one I have on my list is aespa's newest EP, or not newest EP because I know they released an album, but I included aespa, their EP that they did / mini album, My World. I did this on, I think I did it on here. If not, it was on YouTube. But I really jumped into K-pop this year, and spoiler alert, there's more to come in terms of K-pop songs on this list. But this one particularly was the one that stood out the most to me in terms of what was on this EP, My World. If you have not checked out aespa, I would highly recommend giving them a listen. I really fell in love with them. Big salutes to Therese. But yeah, this one was a vibe setter for me. And anytime that I've listened to this EP, this song specifically was the one that I turned to. So that one being Thirsty, I love this song a ton. And again, it's my favorite off of aespa's My World. So let's get into this next one. I know, a totally different vibe. Crazy. Those like trill beats, so sick.
So tell me what you wanna do, boy. 너는 닿을수록 thirsty. 분명 가득한 듯 thirsty. Yeah, I got you, boy. Sipping all night. Dipping all night. 얕은 수면보다 훨씬 짙은 너의 맘 끝까지 알고 싶어. Just sipping all night. Dipping all night. 맘이 커질수록 thirsty. 그 향기 벌써 끊기는 body but stop me 순간 세상이 멈춘 것 같은 머리에 물결처럼 어지러지 넌 어때 웃지 말고 어감만 보지 말고 인정해봐 real 지금 boom boom trigger 아이아이아이 자존심 쓰나 왠지 아이아이아이야 어떤 맘이 난 가끔 미울 만큼 So tell me what you wanna do boy 너는 닿을수록 thirsty You make me bleeding 가득한 듯 thirsty Yeah I got you boy sipping all night dipping all night 얕은 수면보다 훨씬 짙은 너의 맘 끝까지 알고 싶어져 sipping all night dipping all night 맘이 커질수록 thirsty 생각은 no no 이건 또 너를 위한 감정인 거야 sip 그래서 난 sip so thirsty talking about it 솔직하게 전부 숨은 깊이 감춰놓은 네 맘으로 젖어나 이런 속에 내가 좋아 그래 계속 욕심이 나 당나는 너도 아마 don't you baby 그는 투정처럼 thirsty 아니 사실인 거 thirsty Yeah I got you boy sipping all night dipping all night 얕은 물결보다 고위 너의 맘을 얼어먹는 춤이 더 있어 sipping all night dipping all night 그래 너만 보면 thirsty I'll make you thirsty Whoa baby 그래 너에게만 thirsty
All right, guys, that was Thirsty by aespa. I love this group. Big salutes to the K-pop fam, more specifically Alex and Therese. Love those guys so much. And again, this song was one that I really enjoyed and that I had to include on the list. I feel like I would be really remiss if I didn't throw aespa on my favorite EPs, mini albums of the year. So big salutes, and yeah, Thirsty was my favorite off this. I also know they did a new release as well, which we covered in a previous live. So big shout outs to aespa. But yeah, Thirsty was one of my favorites off this one. So the next one, I feel like again, people will be a little bit surprised about this. But my next choice on my list here is going to be Twice, and their new mini album / EP called Ready to Be. I really enjoyed this enough to pick it up on vinyl. I am going to be tracking down a ton of Twice vinyls now. I know that there are a few out now, so I'm definitely going to be scooping some up for the holidays. But I enjoyed this one a lot. I think I enjoyed it a slight bit more than what aespa was doing. I don't particularly think this is the best Twice album in my humble opinion, but I really went back and kind of loved all the tracks, but the one that stood out to me the most was Wallflower. So that one's gonna be my pick off the mini album / EP. So shout outs to Twice. But yeah, Ready to Be was my vibe for the album. So we're gonna get into that one.
무슨 생각하니 Look in the eyes 너를 감싼 묘한 긴장감 어색한 표정 What's on your mind 꺼내게 될 거야 너의 맘 Eyes shine I wonder why 좀 더 가까이 와 Flowing time 더워진 baby 흐르는 널 맡겨 뜨거워진 feel Baby let go and just feel the beat 이미 너는 나 말고 blur What it feels like to be loved 시계추가 기우는 순간 Are you shy under why 네 맘을 꺼내봐 Wasting time 떠난 그만 리듬 속에 널 맡겨 Want to dance with me world now 벅찬 떨림이 어지럽게 너를 흔들지 숨겨왔던 맘을 훔치지 Dance with me Dance with me Wildflower 숨이 가빠진 이미 반응하는 빨라진 조짐 성 같은
Oh, this melody hits. I love it.
Dance with me
In this chorus.
Dance with me Dance with me One, two, let me see you move 물결치는 마음속에 선명해진 view like I'm the only one nobody but you Yeah, tell me that, tell me that, tell me the truth 아까워, 아까워 Like it be going
That rap part goes super hard too. I love that.
하나가 돼 like one, two, three Come dance with me wildflower 너의 마음이 아래에서 위로 향하지 하늘 위로 떠오른 느낌 Dance with me, dance with me wildflower 깊어진 눈빛 Now put your hands on me so everyone can see something that feels meant to be Dance with me wildflower
All right, guys. So that was Twice, Ready to Be, their 12th mini album, as stated on this screen here. As well as that, my personal favorite, Wallflower. Twice is one of the first K-pop groups I got into, and I've just kind of continually gone down the rabbit hole with all of their records. But this one specifically, I think, was like one of the first one other than Between 1 and 2, which was the one I started off with. But yeah, Twice is one of those groups that I'm going to constantly be listening to. They're always in my rotation. I think they have some really fantastic hooks. Their melodies are really on point. I felt like the rap in Wallflower just really pops in this song specifically. And to me, just speaks to all the things that I enjoy and love about Twice. The melodies hit, the way that the groove kind of just has this cool kind of like synthy organy kind of vibe to it, and then just the way that the beat kind of just gives you this kind of almost like a shimmy kind of feeling. I love it. You know, there's something about it that I really particularly enjoy about this song and this whole mini album as a whole. So definitely one that I would be really sad if I didn't include on my list. So Twice is Ready to Be is my number 11th pick. So we're moving on. We're getting into top 10 territory. So I feel like, you know, now it's serious business. But the next one I have on my list is Dreamcatcher and their newest mini album / EP, whatever you want to call it, called Villains. I will be 100% honest. I didn't really like it at first, but it grew on me so much. I listened to it so much and so often that I've just really got into it, and I retract my hate on it. I feel, you know what I mean? Like there was something about this mini album that just kind of changed me a little bit. I feel like if it was maybe Bon Voyage, it would be way higher because I really enjoy that EP and I listened to that a ton. But I had to include Dreamcatcher's Villains on here at number 10 because it was one that I felt like I gave a lot of love to. I didn't give a lot of love to initially, but now I love it a ton and I go and listen to it pretty frequently. So for it to be number 10, I feel like it's got to be one that I've been listening to a lot. The song I picked particularly that I enjoyed the most is also a performance video as well. It's for Shatter, and that was my favorite song other than the one before this one, which I can't remember off the fly, but I also enjoyed the one before this one. So big shout outs to Dreamcatcher. If you are into like metal or like, you know, like rock music, I do feel like Dreamcatcher is one of the best ways to get into like K-pop in this sort of manner, because I do think they have obviously the K-pop um, aesthetic as well as like the sound, but the instrumentation is very more aligned with like rock and like a little bit of metal. So very cool. Shout outs to Dreamcatcher. Would love to see them hopefully next year. Fingers crossed is my goal. But again, we're gonna get into Shatter, which is my personal favorite off of Villains. So let's give it a listen.
나의 낙원을 되돌려주소서 나의 자유를 되돌려주소서 Hear my prayer Please hear my prayer 나는 결국 감정 못할 자극을 원했고 끝내 모든 걸 You make me hard Rather bring me up Rather bring me up Kiss me darling now I think I turn into the stone Banging on me, banging on me shadow Banging on me, banging on me shadow Turn into the Banging on me, banging on my shadow Banging on me, banging on my shadow
This chorus is so crazy.
마법처럼 날 울리는 화려한 그 달콤함에 끝내 눈을 가리지 못해 굳어버린 몸은 결국 내 앞에서 너로 인해 시작 또는 끝일 테니까 내게 한 걸음 다가 뜨거운 온기로 감싸줘 모든 감각이 사라지기 전에 Kiss me darling now I think I turn into the stone Banging on me, banging on me shadow Banging on me, banging on me shadow Turn into the Banging on me, banging on me shadow Banging on me, banging on me shadow Banging on me Shadow Banging on me Shadow 살들어 나를 삼키렴 하늘에 오를래 Bang on me shatter Bang on me shatter Turning to the stone Bang on me shatter Bang on me shatter Turning to the stone Bang it on me shatter Bang it on me, bang it on me shatter Turning to the stone Bang it on me shatter Bang it on me, bang it on me shatter I think I'm turning to the
Oh, so good. I love it. All right, guys, that was Dreamcatcher Shatter off of their mini album Villains. Yeah, this one, I think the melody's really cool. The like pre-chorus build was really tight. And then just like that, the way the chorus just kind of drops is so tight. I had also never seen the dance video for this. I believe this came out after we did our live video on it. So this is first time watching it, so I watched it with you live, which was really cool. But yeah, I love Dreamcatcher. Again, they're amongst the first groups that were like introduced to me doing the K-pop deep dive series, so I feel like I have a lot of love for them already. But there was just something about this EP that I think, you know, listening to it as much and as often as I had been listening to it and still do listen to, it rose those ranks pretty high, which is pretty crazy because I felt like Twice was going to be a little bit higher, but for them to kind of be back to back is pretty, I feel pretty on par for me. So big shout outs to Dreamcatcher. Again, if you are into like more metal and rock stuff, which is, I would argue, a large portion of my fan base already, go check them out. Really, really, really cool like K-pop group that I feel like everyone should give at least a listen to. So shout outs to Dreamcatcher. But the next one on my list is another one that I feel like should come to no surprise to anybody. But number 9 is Mugshots Cold Will. I fucking love this EP. It's so good. It's so heavy. It's one of those records that I put on at the gym to just get me hyped. And the fact that I got to talk to Michael about like the guitar work and all that sort of stuff over this year was really, really cool. And I just think that it's absolutely insane that this whole album or whole EP was written in standard tuning. For those people who don't know anything about guitar, standard tuning is E standard. So it's just normal tuning. So whenever you go to like a guitar center or like any sort of guitar shop, most guitars are tuned to E standard. So all of these riffs sound super heavy and super gnarly, but like written in E standard, which is so crazy to me. So I love the fact that at least in terms of the guitar writing, it's super inventive, but also is just like an ass beating record. So super, super stoked. So big salutes to Mugshot, and they've been doing some good stuff over this time. So definitely go give them a listen if you're into like metal hardcore sort of stuff. Definitely up your alley for sure. The song that I picked specifically was Within Stained Glass. I know I did mention this in my live review as being one of my favorite tracks off the EP, so I felt like I had to include this one on here. So this is Mugshots Within Stained Glass, which is going to be quite the jump from Dreamcatcher right now. So let's give it a listen. Just nasty riffage. I love it. Oh, so good. I love this song. All right, guys. So that was Mugshot Within Stained Glass off their EP Coldwell. Fortunate enough to add it into my vinyl collection. So big salutes to Mugshot. They didn't send it to me. I bought it because I love those guys. But But yeah, really, really phenomenal EP. Is gonna stay well within my heavy jams slash kind of like metal listening habits that I have when I'm at the gym. So big salutes to Mugshot for helping me with the gains over the past couple months. Really, really like God, it has been so sick. So big salutes to Mugshot. And if you're into again that like metal core, hardcore sort of stuff, then this is definitely EP to check out. I think it's only like I think time wise, it's only like 15 minutes long. So I feel like you can definitely get through it within a gym session, 100%. So big salutes. And also big salutes to Pure Noise. Very, very sick. But the next one that I have on my list here is again another curveball. But it is Billy. And their fourth EP, The Billiage of Perception, Chapter 3. I fell down this rabbit hole very, 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 very quickly. I had the awesome privilege of talking about Billy with Therese and Sierra here on Twitch, and I just started listening to a ton of Billy, and I love them. I think they probably are my new favorite K-pop group now. I have a ton of favorite K-pop groups, but I feel like this one has rose the ranks that much more so over the amount of time that I've listened to them, enough to the point where they would sit comfortably at number 8. I just enjoy this entire EP. I recently went on vacation and I downloaded this EP as like one of the ones to listen to. I didn't have a good amount of like downloading. Well, I was on an airplane, so obviously I couldn't listen to it that way. But I downloaded this EP onto my phone and had to just throw this on my list. Like I don't know where I was gonna put it, but I knew it was gonna have to end up on my list some way, some shape, somehow. It was gonna be on here, and to me, it felt like it sat pretty high because I continue to go back to this EP probably a couple of times a week, and I just love it. So big salutes to Billy. But yeah, the song that I chose was actually the last song on the EP, which is Nevertheless. There's a ton of great songs on this EP. I think this is a kind of front to back EP listen to me, in my opinion. But Nevertheless was the one that I think is just a fantastic closing track, and so I had to include it. So let's get into Nevertheless.
When you call my name 눈을 뜨게 돼난 새로운 시공간에 빠진 듯한 기분이야 더 헤매진 않을게 기다려줄래 yeah. 다시 널 찾아가려 해도 늦지 않을게 계속 불러봐도 그저 메아리 뿐 어쩌면 더 이상 난 이곳에 없는 걸까 Feeling so sad Yeah that's my bad 아무리 잡아보려 해도 넌 내게서 아득히 전에 달래 사라져
That bass riff, synthy stuff, love it. That vocal riffing.
Never
This drop is so sick too. I love it. That vocal fucking line, holy shit, so good. All right, guys, that was Billy. This was my number 8 pick, The Billiage of Perception, Chapter 3. Again, I feel like this list would seem very crazy from the outside looking in, but just given the type of music that I've been listening to a lot recently, I feel like my musical habits have changed so much over this year. So, yeah, big salutes to Billy. Again, probably one of my favorite K-pop groups right now, so definitely been enjoying their music a ton, and I felt like I had to include that at number 8 on my list. So the next one is number 7. I love this EP a ton, and I feel like number 7 is a really great spot for this EP to be at. So my number 7 pick is Spirit Box, The Fear of Fear. I did a live review of it over on YouTube, but I really enjoyed this EP a lot. Do I think it's as good as some of their previous work? That I feel like it's not as good. I still think it's a very good EP nonetheless. But I really enjoy a lot of their older material, more specifically their first EP. That was probably like obviously the one that got it started, but that one holds a special place in my heart. So I love that EP, but this one is probably about pretty close to that first EP, at least in my opinion. And I would feel remiss if I did not include this on my EPs of the year list. I did not intend that to rhyme, but here we are. But the song that I chose, that was my all-time favorite of that, and it was going to be really tough because I really enjoyed Cellar Door, but I felt like Angel Eyes was that song for me. Like, there was that song on the EP that it had elicited the most reaction out of me personally, and it was the song that I like went back and listened to and just kind of just enjoyed and savored. And so I felt like this song specifically was one that I had to include on this playlist as one of my favorite songs off the EP. So let's get into Angel Eyes right now. This last is going to seem so chaotic. This VOD will be available later, yes. That's all right. At least you're here. I didn't even get into albums yet. This is still EPs. This song feels like a cement truck. It's crazy. I really enjoyed this EP. I also really enjoyed the music video setup. I don't think I gave it enough credit in the live, but big salutes to Spirit Box, man. This was great. So, guys, this was Angel Eyes off of the Fear of Fear from Spirit Box. I enjoyed this EP a lot. I think that it's certainly, in terms of modern Spirit, well, not modern, but just like more current Spirit Box, I feel like it's probably one of their best representations going further. I think I'm a little bit biased because I enjoyed a lot of their earlier stuff, and I obviously love their new stuff as well, but it's kind of a catch-22 for me, you know, like obviously I appreciate them putting out new music, but I also have I think I have just a lot of respect for Spirit Box as a whole. So I felt like, for me personally, I went back and was convicted to listen to all of these records that I put on my list this year, which took so much time. It took probably this whole month, pretty much, to listen to all of them all over again. And yeah, this one, man, it's just a fantastic work. So big salutes to Spirit Box. I have yet to pick this album up, but I will definitely be adding it in my collection. There's just too many records to buy and so little money to go around. So it will be added to my collection. I am almost positive of it. I feel like I almost almost feel like I have to, because the fact that I have it on my list. So I will probably be grabbing it very soon. But the next one on my list is also might be a little bit of a biased pick. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of this Japanese band called Passcode. And recently I went to New York City and was able to see them live for the first time ever. They have never played the States, and they did it for their EP Groundswell. And had a great time with my roommate, Alex. Big salutes. Love that guy. But I love this EP. I think it is their best work forward. I think Emily, being the newest addition to Passcode, I think she adds such a great dimension to the group. And for me personally, this one had to be just below top 5, which is a little bit hard for me to say, but I felt like there were some records that were a little bit higher up in my list, but I did not want to disclude Passcode. So I included them at number 6 for me personally. But yeah, I love this group. Just getting able to experience their live set was amazing, and I know that they do plan on coming back to the States soon. So I don't know what that means in terms of relativity, but I love this group. So my next pick on my list, of course, as I've already mentioned, is Passcode, and I did decide to do the title track. All of the songs are really, really great off the EP, but Groundswell, at least in my opinion, I felt like was one that resonated with me the most as I was going through and listening to these EPs all over again. So we're going to get into Passcode's song Groundswell. So let's give it a listen. So good. I love it. Oh, so good. I love this. That bass line is so wild. I love this fucking song so much. Oh. I gotta say, seeing this live too was so impressive. So, big salutes, passcode. I feel like I, again, would be really remiss if I did not include them on my EPs of the year list. Groundswell is the EP. If you have a chance to listen to the full thing, it is 4 songs, so I feel like you could do it 100%. The EPs, I would reason with a lot of people, the EPs are probably / mini albums are probably the easiest to get into. So I feel like most people have the time to get into an EP and album. I can understand that certainly, but EPs I have a little bit more of a harder stance on that, I would say. But yeah, really enjoyed Passcode, seeing them live. I do think that I did have a factor in it being, more specifically, this EP being one of my favorites of the year. But I'd also say I think it also just made me enjoy and love this EP that much more because I was able to experience some of these songs live, as well as, again, listening to the EP a ton leading up to seeing them in September. So big salutes to Passcode. I hope that you guys come back really soon because, man, the live energy was so much fun. So big salutes to also all the homies that I met at Passcode. Y'all are awesome. So big salutes to the fam over there. But the next one on my list is going to be a little bit of surprise to most people. I feel like for maybe other communities, maybe might not be as much of a surprise, but my number 5 pick is Taeyeon's 2X. I have been beating this EP into the ground. It's unreal how much time I've spent on this EP. But I'm a Taeyeon stan, I think, like 100%. So shout out to Taeyeon. But I really love this EP, and it's kind of got all of those really like fun, like jazzy K-pop vibes that I really love and enjoy. And I felt like if I did not include Taeyeon on my list, I would be very stupidly I feel like I would be stupid to not include her on the list. So shout outs to the Queen, Taeyeon. My song that I chose off of her EP was Melt Away. I felt like this one was an insane vocal performance, and again, just shows off her skills as the Queen, So love that for her. And this EP, again, I'm probably going to be listening to it a lot more after this, but I feel like I had to cement it in the top 5. So Taeyeon's 2X is my number 5 pick. So let's get into Melt Away. That little horn section, I love it.
Tell me what you feeling. 해낼지도 몰라 maybe. 그러니까 맡겨봐. 다 볼게 deep in. 너도 너를 속여버린 맘. 차가웠던 나의 눈빛이 melt, melt slowly. 긴장감은 안에서 fast, fast 널 웃게 하지. 넌 투명한 eyes, eyes. 깊은 곳에 숨겨진 널 내리쬐는 sound, sound. 내 마음을 꺼내지. 난 내려오는 파도 속에 허적거려도 no pain. 녹아내려 넌 나에게. 내게 사로잡혀 있는 eyes 마음껏 휘둔 짜릿한 순간 틈없이 완벽히 스며와 everything nice 얼어있던 나의 표정이 melt, melt slowly 순식간에 휘슬려 fast, fast 또 휘청이지 넌 투명한 eyes, eyes. 깊은 곳에 숨겨진 널 내리쬐는 sound, sound. 내 마음을 꺼내지. 난 내려오는 파도
Her vocals crush.
허적거려도 no pain. 녹아내려 넌 나에게. 바닥까지 모조리 벗겨내 easily. 선명해진 네 맘이 말을 해. Be hearing me. 네 온도를 바꿔놓은 듯해. Melt, melt slowly. 아무것도 남지 않게. Hey, 다 가져갈게. 너의 손끝에 반짝이는 eyes, eyes. 깊은 곳에 숨겨진 난 너를 비춘 sound, sound. 내 마음을 꺼내지. 난 너를 따라 나오기 속에 사라지는 것도 no pain. 녹아내려 넌 나에게.
It's got like that jazz kind of flamenco kind of vibe, If you know, you know. All right, guys, that was Taeyeon's Melt Away off her EP 2X. I mean, I feel like I don't got to say anything, She's the queen. So I again, fell hard and heavy for Taeyeon this year, but man, this EP crushes. I think it's only been out since like November, since like last month, and I just can't put it down. I think I've listened to it every day. So big salutes. But yeah, this whole EP is like, I feel like the reason why I probably enjoy this EP so much is the fact that it has those like great like jazz elements to it that, like, to me personally, that's like the type of stuff that I write in my free time. And so I feel like her, like, the way that the instrumentation is stylized is just right up my alley. And then just to have a really, really talented vocalist sing over top of it and just kind of like allow her just do her thing, to me it was just like, oh, chef's kiss. I don't think we could have. I don't think there could have. I don't think there could have been a better vocalist to fill this song. Like Taeyeon is so good, and I went back and listened to a lot of her OG stuff as well, but more specifically her solo stuff. But yeah, Taeyeon has been on my kick as of recently. So yeah, along with Chungha, I feel like those two K-pop soloists right now are my two loves. But yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Taeyeon, and again, how much she has risen my ranks of EPs. Like it's crazy. So big salutes to the queen. But jumping a completely different direction, which we've been doing this entire hour-ish for EPs, my number 4 pick is Gnosis, The Eternal Doom. For those who aren't familiar with Gnosis, I love this group. I am a Rio stan. So Rio used to be the vocalist for Crystal Lake, and this is his new project. And Gnosis is fucking crazy. If you miss Crystal Lake, I think Gnosis is gonna fill that void in your heart, and that's not to make any slander against John. I think John is doing a fantastic job with Crystal Lake, but there's always gonna be a soft spot in my heart for Rio, so I had to give him a salute. But the song that I chose for Gnosis was Yakusai, so definitely one to give a listen to. I will say, if you do suffer from like bright lights and all that sort of stuff, this does have a lot of that, and it is a little bit of an aggressive music video. So just fair warning, you can wait like a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes, and it should be over with. So that's my disclaimer right now, just in case you tune in and you click on this video. That's it. But anyway, we're going to get into Gnosis, Yakusai, and right now. Left field pick, I'm telling you. Oh, Taeyeon's a left field pick. Oh, so good. I hope you guys are ready. So sick. Fucking love Gnosis. All right, guys, that was Gnosis, Yakusai. I fucking love this band. I just want to say this whole EP, if you haven't listened to Eternal Doom, highly, 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 highly recommend this EP. It is brutal. Like, it is 12, I think it's like 13 minutes of just pure chaos. If I can encapsulate it in a sentence, it is 13 minutes of pure insanity, you know? So big salutes to Rio. I'm so glad he's still doing stuff, because that was kind of my main concern after he left Crystal Lake, if we were ever going to get new music from him ever again. And so really feel great about him coming back. And also I feel like I am a little bit biased, because I did get to interview Rio, and it's still on my website, which is really, really sick. But I remember finding out about Crystal Lake so early on, and just to kind of continue to follow Rio's journey as a vocalist has been really incredible. So I just got to give him a shout, because, man, he, to me, is one of those quintessential vocalists in the metal scene right now, and he deserves all the love. Man crushes it. So I'm glad Gnosis is back out there and doing some shit. So definitely go give the Eternal Doom some love if you have not already. Definitely worth it. And, properly in slot number 4 for favorite EPs of the year. So number 3 is a big boy. I had to do it. I had to do it to him. But number 3 is Sentinels in Limbo. Oh, you want to talk about an EP that is just pure, like, perfection? Look no further than this EP. If you're into, like, techie, riffy, genty groove, band to listen to. Sentinels is one of those bands that I love. And again, being from New Jersey, and also me being formatively of New Jersey, or living in New Jersey prior to living in Pennsylvania now, I got to see Sentinels a lot. I still get to see Sentinels a lot, and I love these guys. I mean, talk about some of the coolest people that I know, but also at the same point, like, some of the most humble people that I've ever met doing this as well too. They really are just lovely people, and anytime that I have the opportunity to talk about them and tell them how great that they are is always a blessing. So my personal favorite was so tough. I feel like In Limbo was such a great song, and Glitch was such a great song. It was hard to choose, and I feel like I'm still kind of 50-50. I don't really have a favorite between the two, so it was very difficult. But I think the one that I chose was In Limbo, just because I felt like, I listened to Glitch a ton, and that one is a great song, but I feel like In Limbo is where it just hits. There's something about Kenny's vocals that just are wildly good, and I'm so glad Kenny's in the band, because, man, does he add that just extra layer of dimension to this group. So my number 3 pick is Sentinels in Limbo. Again, great band, but we're gonna give In Limbo, no, actually I have Nomadic up here. I don't know why I said In Limbo. In Limbo is the EP. The song that I chose was Nomadic. It was a toss up between Nomadic and Glitch. Those were the two that I enjoyed the most. I mean, I enjoyed all 3 songs, but those 2 specifically were the longer of the 2 songs. So definitely go get some love if you haven't already, but we're gonna get into Nomadic right now. Just that rhythm change is so fucking cool. Ugh. Oh, that Blasby section is so fucking sick. Oh, I love it. James a monster. This like dropout section, I love this. Oh, such a wild song. Love every second about it. All right, guys, that was Sentinel's Nomadic off of their EP In Limbo. I feel like I've already sung this song, sung the praises of Sentinels, but I'll continue to just talk about them for a little bit, and then I'll get into my top two, because don't want this to go on too long, because I still have to get through my albums, and it is almost 11 p.m. here on the East Coast, so I want to try to get through, not through them quickly, but I would like to get through them a little bit faster than I have been. But Sentinels is just one of those bands to me that I will always continue to just love. I think they really take their time in the way that they write. It's something about it where, like, I know a lot of this stuff doesn't come overnight. You know, there's something specifically about the way that each one of them individually fits a specific piece of the puzzle. And by adding Kenny into the group was just that missing piece that I felt like they needed to, at least to me, just kind of ascend to that level of talent. And that's not to say Collapse by Design is not a fantastic album. I love that album. I listen to it a lot. But I feel like Kenny just adds this extra layer of depth to his screaming, but also just meshes up so well with the instrumentation. So I think to me it's kind of like a match made in heaven. So I love Kenny. I hope that, again, best of luck with him, and I hope fingers crossed he is good to stay with the group, because I would love to see a full length from them coming down the line, which I imagine is in the realm of possibility. But I really enjoy Kenny's screaming in his capacity. It's crazy what type of vocal tonality he's able to get and carve out. So big salutes to Kenny, big salutes to Sentinels. Again, one of my favorite. I know they're no longer a local band anymore, but one of my favorite bands always. Love Sentinels. Number 1 and number 2, I think, are going to come as maybe a surprise to most people that know me, but also maybe not as much of a surprise if you know me. As I've been mentioning a lot throughout this live, been delving a lot into K-pop music. It's been an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to just kind of delve into a lot of K-pop groups and show them a lot of love. And this may be kind of revealing my top 2 now at this point, but I digress. We're gonna set it up. But I've been really loving K-pop right now, and 2 groups that I really loved a ton, and it was so hard to have me pick between these 2 groups just because I think on any given day they could just swap and I would be completely set with either one of them being at number 1. But for today, I feel like this was the right move. But my number 2 pick is New Jeans and their EP Get Up. I don't know how many hours I've listened to this EP. If Spotify could track how many hours I've listened to this EP on repeat, it would be a crime, I think. I have listened to this EP so much, and I love it. New Jeans is that type of group that I can put on pretty much at any time. You know, they're like the perfect group I would listen to if I've went to a heavy concert and I don't want to listen to heavy music on the way home. They're the perfect music if I'm driving and I'm just vibing and I just want a good vibe EP or just material. New Jeans is there for me. They're just kind of that all-encompassing group for me, and to me they just kind of speak to what I'm vibing with, which is like that chill kind of lo-fi vibe, but also like really hitting on all of the like really cool like vocal melodies, like the way that the songs are structured are really fun, and the whole EP is just kind of a blast from front to back, and it is short, you know, so I love the repeat value of it, and that I don't feel like I get fatigued over listening to this EP. It's always something I can pick out, something new, something fresh to me, and I love that. So the song that I chose was one that I don't know if I was really sold on at first, but the more that I've listened to this EP, the more that I've fallen in love with this track, and I think that it might be my favorite along with Get Up, which is the title track of the EP. That one is 45 seconds. The title track is 45 seconds long. This one is a little bit longer, but the other track that gets meshed up with them is Cool With You, and this song is just a fucking bop, so we're gonna get into this one. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know me like no other. 다 표현하지 않아도 see me like no other. And I think I like your point of view. 다시 돌아와도 돼. I don't care what other people say. 놓지 말아봐줘. Dreaming of each other. You, baby, on my mind. Every day, baby, say you're mine. You and me, on my mind. Everywhere, baby, say you're mine. Because cool with you. Cool with you. Cool with you. It's just cool with you. 이쯤에서 정말로 너는 어떤 결말로 가려 해. what's the best 너와 옆에 내가 있을 때 이런 말이 잘 나와 이제 더 말하지 않아도 알아 우리 둘이 만든 거리 건너서 여기 You baby on my mind Every day baby say you're mine You have me on my mind Everywhere baby say you're mine It feels cool with you 나랑 cool with you gotta tell me now cool with you It just cool with you cool You know me like no other cool with you gotta tell me now cool See me like no other
Oh, so good. Every time. And it just leads so perfectly into Get Up. It's not even funny. Ugh. What a vibe. All right, guys. That was New Jeans. Cool with you. Again, I feel like, again, a lot of people talk about this group and why they're popular, and it makes sense. You know, I get it. But yeah, just being new to K-pop and this being, again, one of the first groups that I really got into, I feel like it should be no surprise to people that this is one of my favorite EPs of the year. So I think I even mentioned it in my review of it, was that it was going to be pretty high up there. But yeah, shout out to New Jeans. Yeah, this is a fucking bop. So love this song. But the last one, and number one, drum roll please. Number one EP of the year for me is XG New DNA. I very similarly to New Jeans, Get Up, I have put so much time into this EP. I've listened to it so much. I've listened to it so frequently. I'm a little surprised it didn't end up on my Spotify Wrapped this year. Maybe I just didn't listen to it enough on Spotify. I don't know. I feel like I put a lot of time into this EP, but this, from front to back, is just a fucking awesome EP. And I'm so stoked to see what XG is going to be doing this year, upcoming in 2024. I absolutely love this group. They kind of have those songs that are just like heavy hitters. They have like party songs. They have vibey songs. They have like kind of the full gambit of emotion, or at least the full gambit of things that I already enjoy musically, and they just kind of hit that. Girl Gang is like one of those songs that I feel like could be translated super well into like a metalcore sort of song. And I think that's probably the reason why I enjoy it a lot. And was honestly one of my picks as one of my favorite songs off the EP. But there is one song specifically that every time I come back and listen to this song, it just puts a big smile on my face. So we're gonna get into the final one. This is the last song of my EPs. So thank you for joining me if you did watch this. And then I guess I'm taking on the monstrous task of going through my albums as well live. So stick around. But anyway, this last one is XG's Puppet Show. And this is the choreo video. So let's watch it.
It's time I get what I deserve. Act like you don't know what I'm worth. We spend a lot of time talking, but it feels like I'm never heard. Listen to what comes out my mouth before you try to take me out. You ought to know what I'm about. Treat me like a lady. This ain't up for debating. Boy, stop playing before we go a different route. Imagine a world where we could play different roles, where girls be taking control. Wrapping our fingers, they couldn't tell us no, no, no. Welcome to the puppet show. Where we play
Oh,
with the plastic
every time this chorus comes in, baby, I love it.
anything. When you got 'em hanging by a string, Gonna play it like the toys. We'll make 'em do what we enjoy.
The like ear candy, so fucking sick.
When when you got him by your street. Don't like the look of this picture. Boy, you think that I'm in love with you? Cry me a river, thought you was lit to leave a true extra. I'ma do it my way, ain't apologetic. I'ma cut you off like Beverly with it. I'm a controller, play like Atari. It ain't game over till I say so. Got it, when I want for it to please me. Might just make you do the things I want you to. Playing puppet master, everything's so easy. I'll make all of my own dreams come true. Ooh. Imagine a world where we could play different roles, where we be taking control. Wrapping our fingers, they couldn't tell us no, no, no. Welcome to the puppet show. Where we playing with the plastic dolls. Like a plastic doll. They'll do anything, anything, anything. When you got them hanging by a string, by a string. Gonna play it like the toys, like the toys. Make them do what we enjoy. They'll do anything, anything. When you got them by a string, by a string, yeah. Follow my lead. Just leave a whole thing up to me. My expertise. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the puppet show. When we playing like the plastic dolls. They'll do anything, anything. When you got him hanging by a string, by a string. Welcome to the puppet show. When we playing like the plastic
Oh,
dolls.
God. Fuck. So good. Also, the choreo video. I have not seen the choreo video. This was so cool. Love it. All right, guys. Well, okay. I'm just going to stop. Anyway. All right. Well, that's my top pick. XG, their EP, New DNA. Again, if you have not listened to XG, I would highly recommend giving them some love because I know a lot of people within my lane of music haven't heard of K-pop, or at least to my knowledge, I know of. But I love this group. I love this EP. It has been an EP I haven't been able to put down, and I feel like that's all I need to say. You know, it is one of those records, very similarly to New Jeans Get Up, was just on constant repeat. It is something that I can listen to at any given moment of time, and I think I have at this point. So I feel like whenever I pick EPs or albums of the year, it's one of those records that I cannot put down. There's just something about it that instinctually just I have to listen to it. It just I have to listen to it. It just, like, I feel like I am missing a part of myself if I'm not listening to it. So big salutes to XG. It's also like one of my most popular videos on YouTube, which is kind of crazy to me. So thank you to everyone in the community. You guys have been amazing. So big salutes to you guys. But yeah, love this group, XG. Probably my favorite song off this EP is Puppet Show. But I enjoyed all of it. It is, I think it is an EP from front to back. You can listen to the whole thing and enjoy it, and it's just got a ton of repeat value. There's a ton of ear candy. Vocal layering is money. I can't even say anymore. I genuinely cannot say anymore. So big salutes to XG being my favorite EP of this year. I probably will include mini albums next year, which will make my life that much more difficult of putting a list together. But I feel like those are my favorite 15 records of this year. I'm sure there's tons of other bands and things that I could have gotten into, but I felt like these were the albums that I listened to the most in my free time and maybe on stream. And so I feel like these are it. So thank you for checking out the EPs. I'm debating on whether or not I should do the albums because it's gonna be a long one. I have like 25. I have 5 honorable mentions and 25 or 20 picks, and 25 honorable mentions. I think I might cap it off here with just doing the EPs. But I will be doing the albums probably Tuesday, just because I think it's too late. Like I'm almost positive it would be pushing well into the well beyond the midnight hour. So I don't know. Should I do it? I guess we'll find out. I don't. This is a part where I should cut it out and just stop, but I don't know. You know what? What the hell? I think we should do it, because otherwise I don't think I'm gonna have any. I don't know if I'm gonna have any other time to do it. So we're definitely gonna go swap that over. So I will be right back. Hold your horses. We're coming back. So let's get this switched over. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we are back. I've decided to do it. I have decided to do it. I don't. Listen, in the spirit of the holidays, I feel like I gotta do it. We gotta go for the gusto. So if you are joining me, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. But yes, I am going through my EPs of the year. Excuse me. I already went through my EPs of the year. I am now going to be going through my albums of the year, which is the one that I feel like is a little bit more contested in everyone's eyes. So keep your eyes peeled for some of my favorites of this year. It was super hard, as it always is every year, to pick albums of the year, but I feel like this year more specifically was way more difficult. I feel like the wire was cut much closer together. But I'm going to start off with 5 honorable mentions. I probably should have cut this down to no honorable mentions, but I'm going to do it nonetheless because I have it on here and it's on the playlist. But we're going to get through 25 songs, which is going to be crazy. So if you are joining me, buckle up. We're in for a long ride here. But I'm going to cut it right here. So